right? So like in our lab, we'll be working with forms and HTML forms and PHP, right? So generally forms are used to design the form elements, right? So we'll be able to design a labels, text box, buttons, option button, checkbox, right? So you'll be able to get the information from the end user by means of HTML forms. So for example, this is a simple form where you are going to have two labels. So the labels are going to be name and email is going to be the label. So you have text box corresponding to the name label. So input type equal to text means it automatically creates a text box, and the name of the text box is going to be name. Similarly, again for email, you are going to create a text box. Input type equal to text means it creates a text box, right? So you are going to name this text box as email, right? So input type equal to submit. You have two types of buttons: input type equal to submit and input type equal to reset. So whenever you are going to press the submit buttons, the information will be sent to the form action. So this is a normal HTML document. So once you press the submit button, the information in the HTML form will be redirected to this web page, welcome.php. So you have two types of form methods: form method equal to get and form method equal to post, right? So this is how we design a simple form, right? So here you have two types of here we have labels, name and email. They are going to be labels. Have two text boxes, one corresponding to the name text box and other corresponding to the email text box. You have one button, submit, to send the to transfer the data from the client side to the server side scripting language. So you can also have input type equal to reset. So whenever I need to clear the contents in the form elements, I can go for input type equal to reset, right? So you have two types of methods: form method equal to post and form method equal to get. So we'll study about this two methods and how to work with this variables, right? So here the method is going to be post, right? So here information from the variable name and email, from the variable, from the text box name and email, and it is going to print it, right? So this is the corresponding PHP file, welcome.php file, that is going to get the name and the email of the end user, and it's going to display like welcome, the username, your email addresses. It's going to display the email address, right? So we use this method echo dollar underscore post name, right? So since it's going to be method is going to be post, we are going to use dollar underscore post name to display the name of the end user, and similarly echo dollar underscore post email to display the email ID of the end user, right? So this is how we work with the post method. So whereas if the method is equal to get, then the corresponding command or script here will be echo dollar underscore get name, and similarly dollar php echo dollar underscore get of email, right? So this is the corresponding script for form method equal to get, right? So you are going to access the variable values that are submitted in a HTML form, either by using a get method or you are going to use a post method, right? So in the case of if the form method is equal to post, you are going to have dollar underscore post variable name to access the variable, whereas if it is going to be a get method, we'll be having dollar underscore get variable name, right? So what's the difference between get method and post method, right? So the information sent from a form using a get method is visible to everyone. So all the variable names and values, they are displayed in the address bar, right, in the URL. Again, get method, it has a limitation on the information to be sent from the client side to the server side, right? So the limitation is about 2000 characters. So at most 2000 characters alone can send from the client side to the server side using the get method. Again, the drawback is that it's visible to everyone, right? So however, this get method can be used for sending non-sensitive data from the client side to the server side, right? So whenever you want to send some sensitive data from the client side to the server side, right, then we go for this post method. So there is no limitation on the amount of information sent from the client to the server using the post method, right? So information sent from your form using the post method is invisible to others, right? So here all the names, values are embedded within the body of the HTTP request, and there is no limit on the amount of the information that is being sent from the client side to the server side, right? So this is the difference between get method and post method. So generally we'll be designing a form like this, right? So for example, I do perform a railway reservation or something, then we need to know the name of the passenger, age, right, source, destination, and so on. So mostly you'll be using this input type equal to text to create a text box, and for each and every text box you need to have a corresponding name, right? So the first text box here corresponds to name, and the second text box corresponds to email, and so on. You can create your own buttons, input type equal to submit the information to a particular scripting language, PHP, like welcome.php and so on. And in the server side, you can use this get method or post method to print the value of the form elements, right? So you know the difference between get method and post